In this next section, we're going to try and create a product or a component that's made out of laminated plywood. So we're going to take a former, we're going to take some device for holding it together, we're going to glue it together, and then we're going to clean it up to make it look nice, and obviously then we've created a bent piece of timber. Right, so what we're going to do, we take our very thin plywood. Now this plywood is 1.5 millimeters thick, and obviously that has a certain amount of flexibility and malleability. Now, before we do this, we need to make sure, we want to try and layer this up. So you want to see there are little bits of splintering there, just where the saw has gone through it to cut up the wood. We're going to want to take that apart, take that off, because that will just get in the way of our laminate sitting as close as we can get them to do. So we're going to take a file, and we're just going to file in the diagonal direction, just to take off that very top edge of those splinters to stop them from getting in the way. Shouldn't take very long, quick and easy. One. And then what we're going to do is going to use 3 or more layers or laminates to create the component that we're going to make today. And if we're just a bit thoughtful about how we do it, we can start saving ourselves time and effort later when we start to create and clean up those parts. So this laminating you can do with larger sheets of this material. You can get thicker flexible ply. You can also get thinner veneers, so you can actually make your top layers look like a different piece of wood. As we've discussed previously, you can also use steam and moisture to bend solid timber, but this method is relatively straightforward and quite reliable in relation to this. So I've cleaned up my piece of wood, and what I want to do is I want to put them around this former, which in this case is just a piece of PVC pipe. Now I've chosen PVC pipe and some nylon strapping, luggage straps, purely because as I start to use my glue, I'm going to use PVA for this one. As I use my PVA glue doesn't adhere to PVA or nylon, to PVC or nylon, so that means that my strap and my former won't stick to my laminate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose the nicest looking sides for the outsides. So you can see here I've got this chipping happening. I'm going to put that here like this. All I'm going to do is just pop my layers out, squeeze a bead of glue down the middle, and that has to be spread nicely. So I'm just going to put my layer on top, and I'm just going to move that around. And it's really important that you get good coverage over all of the wood just sticking together, because if there are any gaps anywhere in the piece of wood where the glue isn't, then that will not stick and it will start to split away. And because this wood wants to return back to being flat, it will not stick properly. So I'm happy with that one. Next one. There are different techniques to glue it together. If you want to use them, try them out. But the most important thing is to make sure the glue's in the right place. And the second most important thing is to make sure we don't get glue absolutely everywhere. So I'm just going to peel that one off just to double check it's not all in the right place. I'm missing a bit up here. Take my finger, just put some extra glue on here, and that looks pretty reasonable aside from that. We're also looking to not get the whole thing to stick. I'm planning on there being extra at the ends which isn't going to stick properly. So because I've planned for that, it should hopefully mean I've got extra material on the ends. And double check I've got enough glue. It looks pretty good. And there will be some squeezing of glue out the edges, and you'll get glue on your hands. Not the end of the world. Once you've done that, transferring that flat piece of laminate onto the mould with the strap can be a little tricky. So what I'm going to do, let me show you a way that I've managed to do it. So the strap has an end that goes through. I hold the clip down and that will push it through and pull it back. If I pull it, it doesn't move back the other way. This end is anchored, it's just attached all the time. The way I make this work is I pull the moving end out as far as I can go, and I place the anchored end, that bit of fabric, just there, so I can hold it to here. Then what I'm going to do is place it around my former. I hold my anchored end, and then I just pull. and that will just bring that end round, and then I keep pulling. And as that goes further and further round, I can then get a grip on the whole thing. Just start to pull that a bit more. And don't worry if your laminate comes away or starts to shift, that's fine, we can always push it back into place. And you keep going, and you keep going all the way until you can't go anymore. And you're looking to have a really, really tight all the way around. Should start squeezing some glue out with a little bit of feathering at the ends, just where the ends change length, because obviously the outside of that is longer than the inside curve. Once that's happened, you want to push that down as hard as you can go to get that laminate as flat. This just saves on the sanding we're going to have to do as we get the laminate off the former. So there we go, so that's quite flat. That's quite good there. The only thing I haven't done is write my name on it. So what I will do is I'll take my little tiny pencil and I'll just make sure my name is on it at the end, because I might be chopping most of that off, but it's written very lightly in pencil to make sure that it doesn't get in the way or ruin my finish when I start to do that.